Hey guys, and here we are back with another video, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now today I've got here another Android TV box, and in this particular case with Android TV OS and Netflix Full HD. So for those of you that are fans of Android TV OS, this might be a good option to consider. Now, starting with the package contents, as you guys may see by some images, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Moving to the remote control, what I can say is that I actually like it. It's not common for me to enjoy a remote control that comes included, but I do feel that the remote feels nice. The plastics are not that great, but it has this rubberized feeling on the keys, which is great. And for those that are wondering if it has air mouse, no, it doesn't. Works just like the NVIDIA Shield and the EBOX 3 remote, just up, down, and so on and so forth. So nothing huge here. If you guys are looking for something or to use an Android TV box with air mouse, you will have to get another remote other than this. Now, moving on to the build quality of the box itself and the design. I actually like the design because it's simple, looks nice, but in terms of build quality, what I can say is that it's made of a cheap plastic, so there's that. Now, in terms of the launcher itself, it is the Android TV OS launcher, and or if you want to call it the lean back launcher. And for someone that enjoys the Android TV OS experience, then it will have a good experience. And of course, Android TV OS has pros and cons like anything else. We have discussed this in the past here on the channel, so I'll leave some links down below so that you guys can check it out. Now, in terms of specifications, this EBOX right over here, it's running the SoC AM Logic S905W, 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of flash storage with Android 7.1.2. Now, in terms of benchmarks, so that we can compare with other machines that we have seen in the past, I'll show you guys a few images there. In terms of DRM, it has level 1, so it's one of the reasons that we can get Netflix at 1080. In terms of disk speed, 48 on the reads and 39 on the writes means that it's slower than the NVIDIA Shield and slower than the EBOX. So we will notice a little bit of lag when closing and opening a few apps. In terms of network, we also have, in terms of Wi-Fi, low values. We are talking about 20 on the downloads and 7 on the uploads. If we connect with the Ethernet port, then we will have a maximum, because this is a 100 megabit connection. And then in terms of Geekbench and Antutu, the values are in line with other devices that we have seen with the same exact hardware, than it's right over here. Now, moving to the real world performance, which is the most important on any device. Now, in terms of resolution, it will go up to 4K at 30 Hz. Netflix, as we have mentioned, we can go up to 1080, and I didn't have any issues at all while playing series and movies right over here. YouTube, I was able to play up to 4K, but if you guys pay attention to the screen, you will see, and hopefully I can show you, that there are a lot of frames dropping at 4K, which will make the experience not so good. Now, the maximum playable quality resolution that I could get out of YouTube was 2560 by 1440 at 30 Hz, and like that, I didn't have any issues at all. Now, moving on to Kodi, this box comes with a fork based on Kodi 17.6. It's called the EBOX Media Player, and I did delete it, install Kodi 17.6 Pure, which is how I love to use. And what I can say is that it needs a little bit of fixing here on the firmware, because 4K 10-bit H.265 codec, I had buffering and some frame dropping, and also on 4K 8-bit H.264 there was also some frame dropping. Now, if you are wondering if 1080 works, yes, I was able to play 1080 H.264 and H.265 without any issues at all. So just the 4K on Kodi, it's not working here, and it needs a fix on the firmware. Now, I went at the end and resetted the box to be able to use EBOX Media Player, and what I can say is that the results were exactly the same as we had with Kodi. So once again, we will have to wait for a firmware fix to have Kodi performing better in 4K. Now, moving on to the next step was Skype. I'm happy to say that I was able to use Skype with a webcam right over here, as you guys can see right over there. I'm using the Logitech C920. For those of you that follow the channel know how it works. And finally, I was also able to mirror my MacBook Pro to this Android TV box through AirPlay and play high bitrate slideshows on the fly, which is something that we do a lot here at home, and the experience was flawless both on image and also on audio. Now lastly, moving to gaming and starting with Android gaming, what I can say is that for light games like Despicable Me, for example, we will have fun and we will be able to play without any issues. One of the advantages on Android TV OS is that we can play this kind of game with just the remote control or even a gamepad if we want to. But when we move to heavier games like Asphalt 8, Airborne, we will have frame dropping and the experience is not as good. I even recorded with my camera instead of using my capture card so that you can see better the frame dropping that we have. It's honestly as expected, as we have seen with other boxes with the same hardware, and the experience is not good. But on the other hand, in terms of game streaming, which is one of my favorite ways of playing games on a big screen TV, I'm happy to say that it worked flawless. I did play at 1080 60 frames per second, and as you guys can see, gas guzzlers. By the way, I will leave a link down below for this game so that you guys can check it out, because I know that most of you will not understand the name gas guzzlers and many other words that I do mention, but the reality is that it gave me a great experience without any issues playing games over the network. Of course, these games are on my computer, and for those of you that are new to game streaming concept, just search the channel and I've got a lot of information down there. And that is it, guys. So in conclusion, what I can say is that for those of you that are looking for a device with Android TV OS and you don't want to spend so much money on the NVIDIA Shield, which I do believe that in certain cases it's worth it. In my particular case, as you guys know, I've got two of them, the 2016 and 2017. But if you want to spend less, then at this moment the only one that I could advise was the EBOX 3. Now there's this one, and there are a few others coming in the market which I hadn't had the chance to test out. But what I can say is that it's not perfect. As you guys saw, the Wi-Fi and the disk speed show us that there are two weak points, but I would say that it has a strong point, which has the Ethernet connection. So I would say really quickly here, if you are looking for something to use only through Wi-Fi, the EBOX is the budget best solution at this moment. On the other hand, if you are looking for a box to use over Ethernet, then this one might be a good option, because the EBOX, you will have to add a USB dongle and so on and so forth, as we have seen in the past. But this is it, guys. This is an acceptable solution. It's not a Shield TV, but will give us the chance to have Android TV OS at a lower cost. And that is it. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did so, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.